and this is what we're going to do today. So I have this PNG that I will provide you in the description box below of this video. And we're already starting strong by getting rid of things that weren't supposed to be on the canvas. This is good practice for anybody that has a Cricut on how to get rid of this kind of things. So you have to cover it with a shape form, any kind, as long as it covers it. Then you have to go in your action file that you can see on below the screen, and you cut it out. Now sometimes you have to choose everything, and another way to do this is by using the layers icon, where you can see the square, and you can actually have a better view of what you're doing. So you see, when I cut it out, it gave 3 more layers, and these 3 layers we will trash because we don't need them. Now I'd like to welcome you to my channel, Journaleclectique. My name is Carole, and I'm trying to learn to do better with my Cricut. And by doing so, I will be teaching you a few things that I learned. So this removing pixel hack is actually very useful in everything you do. Sometimes you think your file is fine, but you need to take out a few things. There's still some little black points, pixels in the design, but it is fine as long as there's not too many. Otherwise, your Cricut will not exactly like it. It might actually just stop working because there's too many little dots to do. Now, your stencil, you can manage the size with those 2 things. So there's the width and the height. You can change your sizing, not sizing, but scales, whether it is a metric or imperial. So imperial is in inch and metric is in centimeters. Now most stencils are made of not made of, but made of about the size that are for width with 7-inch high. But when you do your stencils with Cricut, you can actually go as wide as your Cricut mat. So my Cricut mat is a 12 by 12 inch, so 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters. So you can go as big as that. Going smaller will actually be a little tricky because at some point you can't really go smaller. So you'll have to try a different size in order to know what the Cricut actually will allow you to do in a very nice way. Now at this point, all right, I'm trying a few things that, well, I'm showing you actually when things don't go well, and I'm showing you when things go well because it's something that I don't see in the Cricut tutorials that I find. Everybody succeeds right up front. So I chose my material, which is transparency, and I sent some little arrows to show you that you have to load your mat, and then you also have to click on the play button that is on your Cricut machine. I have a Cricut 3, so it has the button, but if you have a Joy or something like that, the smaller ones, I think you have to do it with the software. So right now what's happening is that my green mat is the one I use for papers. So far I used it mostly for papers, so for doing the print and cut and such. and it has lost its stickiness. It needs to be cleaned, but at this point I thought it would actually be sticky enough. As you can see, it's also dirty. There's a hack also for cleaning up your mat. So you just need to use some Windex. You put it on your mat, then you let it soak a little bit. Then you use a magic sponge, just a clean magic sponge, and you scrub a little bit what's on it. And after that, you can also use your air dryer to not reinstall the glue, but to make it sticky again, and it works really great. Now I've put it back again, thinking that on the other side it will be better, and well, I think it did stick a little bit more. But as you can see with my hand, I'm trying to keep it in place, which is not good, by the way. If you have to do this, that means that you probably should just stop it and start over again with a new mat. But as I said before, I don't mind showing what happens when you don't do it properly, when you think, yeah, it's gonna work, but it's not working. So you might have has to go through those things at least once. And as you can see, I'm really trying hard. I'm playing curling with my hands at this point, trying to warm up the stickiness of the mat with my hands, but yeah. It's not wonderful that way. So I will stop it in kind of soon. The problem right now with getting my tutorial faster, or to cut these things, is because I have to use not that I have to, but I'm using a software that doesn't allow me to cut both tracks. So at some point I have to be somewhat in sync with what's happening. So that's why I can't exactly speed up everything, because one will speed up but not the other. So if you want to speed up, you know that you can with in the cogwheel on your YouTube your YouTube app. You can make it faster or slower. So right now I'm changing my material for carton, cardstock. So you see, it's not exactly in sync, but I will use some cardstock to see how it will do with the green mat, since I figured it would probably work better since the cardstock is more porous and therefore would stick better. Now I'm making sure I'm rolling it on the mat. Now you can do your stencils on cardstock, by the way. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Cardstock will actually absorb moisture, so if you're doing your stencils with, let's say, acrylic paints and things like that, it might not last very long, but it can actually work. So let's say you don't have your plastic dividers, because that's what I was using prior to the cardstock. If you don't have that, which by the way I bought that at the dollar store, so that cost almost nothing. I also bought from Amazon stencil mica that is 4 mil, but it's a little bit more sturdy. but honestly I don't exactly see the advantage of it. It's transparent, so you basically don't see anything compared to the plastic dividers. At least they are colorful, so you see what you've done. Now this stencil, I don't know if I said it, will be available on my coffee store. It's already in PNG, so there's no background. You only need to add it to your Cricut design space and adjust the size and maybe practice some cleaning up if you want, because I think the original file I didn't clean. I cleaned it in design space, so you'll have to practice that too, which will be good. I think it's good to practice stuff that you will have to learn anyway, because there's always something with the designs that you want to change and modify. So this is working relatively well. My paper kind of stays. I don't have to keep it in place. And what's fun is that all the little cutouts are white, and you can actually use those as mask on your jelly plate. So yes, they're small. Yes, it will be a bit tedious to do, but at least you have some shapes you can put on your jelly plate. It's not always hearts and stars or circles. So this can actually add to your collection of things you can use with your jelly plate. Now Cricut doesn't have like a rabbit speed or a tortoise speed, and when it decides to do its long line to surround the stencil, it actually goes very fast. I was surprised by that, and that's where things got messy. I'm almost in sync with everything. I'm actually surprised how much work doing these kinds of videos are too. I have to write a lot of things, so nobody forgets what happens, even I. So it will finish doing the little parts, and then it will go around, and oh my, did it went. And down it is. So at the up, you see what it did. So for some reason at the top, it yeah, it lifted. So that's what it did. So it's not wasted. It's not something that, of course, it's not ideal, but you can use the stencil anyway. It's just that it's a bit damaged, but you see all the little half cuts, how fun they are. I like that. Now I know that I did write it in the coffee description, but those stencils will be for personal use only. It's really for you to enjoy your making and remaking your own stencils, not for sale. Now the purple matte is the very strong matte, and well, the transparency actually stick to it very well. So this will be a very good example of what should be happening when things go well perfectly. Nothing lifts, everything goes according to plan. So at this point, if you're still with me, I'd like you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment if you want, maybe leave some suggestions of stencil you might want me to do, so everybody could actually profit from new design, new ideas. They are for free in my coffee shop, you don't have to buy them. And I think this one is actually a very good classic. It's a bit grungy, so it's not too clean, and you can actually use it in junk journaling very easily. And as I said, now that you can make one, you can actually make it very big or very small. And in the shape you want. So you don't need to keep it in rectangular. You can put it in square mode, not square mode, but in a square shape. Yay! Everything went well. So this is the final result of a perfect stencil execution. Now I turned my mat on the other side, but I realized that my mat was sticking to my desk, so I didn't do that very long. I want to keep this one very sticky. And sometimes it does a bit like when you do intricate die cuts. Some of the parts stays inside, but all I had to do is pull them off, and it was very easy. It didn't break anything. Which is why really people that do this kind of shop at home with the Cricut, I don't know, it's very tricky. It can be time consuming if you're doing this as a living. Because when things go well, they go well, but when they don't, oof. Now the rest of the offcuts you can also use for your jelly printing. They will last longer since they're on plastic, but when they might also be a little harder to find on your jelly plate since they're also very thin. Now I'm showing you what it will look like. It's a win. So I'll see you in the next video for more stencils. Thank you, and bye.